YouTube, I hope that you can see me all right. Today, instead of a regular vlog, I am doing a tag, and this is something that this tag is one that I saw on Imperfect Mommy Chaos. Stephanie did this tag, and it is actually the controversial parent tag, so that's gonna be kind of interesting. If anyone wants to leave comments, which I definitely welcome, just keep them nice and respectful. And the first thing to kind of give my opinion on is pro-life versus pro-choice, and I'm definitely pro-choice. I don't really even have an argument because it's so given for me. That's just the way it is. I guess it's the way I've been raised, which is something you can often use as an excuse or whatever, but I'm pro-choice. I think there should always be a choice for any woman. Next we have baby wearing, which I don't understand why that would be controversial. I think if you want to wear your baby, then go for it. I had this kind of sling baby carrier thingy when Tyrion was a newborn, and we used it quite a lot, especially Michael, because I got a lot of back pain from it. But Michael had Tyrion in that like 24/7, especially since Tyrion was colicky. That was one of the things that actually helped and that made him calm, so that was a lifesaver. And then because of my back, we got a baby Bjorn, and I used that a lot too, and Michael used that a lot, and we thought it was very good. I've since heard that those aren't very well built for little babies' bodies and their legs and stuff, so if I have another kid, I think that I will be selling my baby Bjorn and buying something that's more ergonomically, I think that's the word, correct. So yeah. Circumcision. I kind of wrote all of these down beforehand, and the only thing I wrote was nope. As far as I know, I don't know anyone who has been circumcised, and it's just not something you do here. I think it's mostly an American thing, so for me it's very alien, I guess, and I've only heard about it or seen things about it in like American TV shows and movies and stuff, so for me it's just very foreign and not something that I would ever think of doing to my child or anything like that. So nope, no circumcision here. Adoption. Yes, of course, why would that be a bad thing? How can that be controversial? I guess it is, but I actually wanted to adopt for a long time. I was kind of afraid of my bad genes going on to another generation, and then I guess when I met Michael and stuff, I just felt like yeah, everybody has weird genes and diseases and stuff, so why not? And another reason I wanted to adopt was also because I just felt like there are so many kids in the world who don't have the things that they should, you know, like parents and food and all that stuff. So that was a reason that I wanted to adopt. And then the kind of the natural mother instinct of wanting to get pregnant and birth your own child and that stuff, it took over. So we didn't end up adopting, but I think it's a super good thing, and definitely I'm all for it. Baby piercings. Well, I don't know anyone who has pierced their baby's ears or anything, and I'm trying not to judge people, whatever you're talking about. I don't like to judge, but for me it's just, I don't see a purpose. I don't see the reason. Then we have breast milk versus formula. I am definitely all for breast milk because the scientists and stuff, science shows that breast milk is the best thing for the baby. So yeah, of course, if you can breastfeed, do that. If you don't want to for some reason, then I mean, formula is a good option too, and if you don't want to breastfeed, then you shouldn't have to. But I think yeah, I definitely think it's the best thing to do, and I did try to breastfeed Tyrion for a few months. I think we stopped at about when he was about 3 months old. Since he was born early, he didn't have that kind of suction reflex at first, and he never really got into it. And then he didn't lose weight, but he didn't gain weight as fast as he should. And eventually my healthcare provider, she kind of said, or we decided together that the best thing for Tyrion was to have formula. So we went over to that, and I don't regret it, but I do wish that I could have breastfed him for at least a year. And if I do have another kid, I'm gonna try, I think, even harder with that one to breastfeed, because I think it's good for bonding and it's good for the baby, and it's less expensive. There are just so many pros to breastfeeding. And then we have spanking, and maybe I have a different view than many other people, at least in other countries, but here in Sweden, spanking is considered hitting, and it's been illegal since '79. I think Sweden was the first country to illegalize spanking and hitting children. So it's illegal in schools, it's illegal for parents to do it, so I've never grown up with it. As far as I know, as far as I hope, no one that I know have been spanked. It baffles me that anyone could hit their children. I don't understand how you can do it. And I guess it's kind of a cultural thing, that if people have done it to you, or if you grew up with that mentality that it's okay and that spanking is not hitting or abusing, then I guess you think it's okay. But for me, spanking is definitely hitting. And if you're not allowed to hit or abuse anyone else, then why should you do it to your children? That's kind of my view on it. Co-sleeping, yeah, go for it. If you can do it safely, I think co-sleeping is a good thing for bonding and just I think the child is feeling more safe when you do it. I co-slept with Tyrion for a while at first, and I have to admit I wasn't super safe about it. We kind of lived on the couch in the living room for the first few weeks. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words. I'm kind of tired. It's late. But yeah, we co-slept for a while, and I basically just had him in my lap, and it wasn't super safe. It wasn't very smart, but that's just, I was sleep deprived, and everything was off, and he was colicky, and everything was just super difficult. And he was okay. He was never hurt or anything, but I think you should take precautions to make sure that it's safe for the baby. And then we have a question of home schooling versus public schooling versus private schooling, and this doesn't really translate to the way schools work in Sweden. I definitely know that I will never be homeschooling Tyrion. I don't think you can really do that here. I guess there is probably some way you could do it, but I think you would have to go through a lot of hoops to get that approved. And when it comes to public and private schooling, it's kind of the same thing here. All school is paid for by the government, or I guess by taxes and stuff, so there's no difference in what it costs. And private schools have pretty much the same rules as the public schools, so I don't know, we'll pick the school that's closest, most likely. Vaccinations is the next one, and all I've written on this one is yes. I definitely think the vaccinations are good. I've given Tyrion all the vaccinations that they recommend, and I just kind of feel like if the doctors think you should do it, then I trust them. And the next one is medicating children, and that's kind of the same thing. I trust doctors and you know, the people who work in that area. So if they think that I should give Tyrion a certain medication, then I will. But I don't kind of give him things for a fever unless he's feeling really bad, because as far as I understand, at least as far as I've been told, the fever shows that the body is fighting the infection, and if you actually give them something to take the fever down, then it will take them longer to get better. So unless he's feeling super bad, and unless he, you know, can't sleep or anything, I won't give him anything for it, and that's worked fine for us so far. Then we have something that I have talked about a lot on this channel, so long-time viewers probably already know my answer, but this is cloth versus disposable diapers. And yeah, I'm all for cloth diapers. That's what I use. We only use disposables at night, but I've used cloth diapers for, I think, 9 months now. I think we started using them in November. and I think it's been awesome, and Michael likes it too, so that's good as well. And it's inexpensive, it's good for the environment. I really don't think that the inconveniences of using cloth diapers are that bad, and I definitely think it's worth it using cloth diapers. But again, if you want to use disposables, then use disposables. Everyone knows best what works for them and what works for their kids, and I'm not going to judge anyone no matter what they do when it comes to diapers. Definitely just use what works for you. And then the last one is cry it out method. The cry it out method, I think there's only an abbreviation, but I think that's what it's called. And I have to say I'm not very read up on this, so I don't know how it works, so I can't say much about it. But I can say that we have never let Tyrion cry on his own. We've never left him crying in his room until he falls asleep or anything like that. We've always stayed with him until he's calm. And until a couple of months ago, we've always stayed with him until he's asleep. But nowadays, we put him in his crib and we leave the room, and we know that he's calm. And if he starts crying, we go right back in. So I'm guessing the cry it out method is not something that I'd use, but yeah, again, use what works for you. But I wouldn't feel comfortable with letting Tyrion scream and cry and be alone and on his own. I just don't have the heart to do that. But that's it for the tag, and I'm hoping this video is not too long, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it right quick. So please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of our daily vlogs, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye!